Here's a question for you. Are we human beings having a spiritual experience, or are we spiritual beings having a human experience? In this video, we want to talk about the importance of why there's a spiritual realm, there's a spiritual truth, there's a spirituality, how we are spiritual beings. We also want to give you some things to consider if you don't consider the spiritual realm and what's going on within. We also want to give you some practical tips that you can take with you on your journey on spiritual transformation. For those of you who may think that spirituality is, what is that? Think about this. We have a brain, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. We all agree we have a brain. We also have a mind. Can you see the mind?
No.
We have a consciousness. You can't see the consciousness. We all agree that we have a body. Many people also agree that we have a soul. So this idea of the brain and the mind, one is physical, one is spiritual. We have a consciousness, right? We are able to think about thinking. We don't act on instinct. Well, what is that? Is that all physical? Isn't that spiritual, our consciousness? If by a random occurrence that we hear, if that's the truth, it means there's no real purpose, there's no design, there's no designer, there's no meaning behind the reason for us being on planet Earth. I think no one deep down really wants to feel and think and truly believe that we have no meaning. We have a lot of people on this planet that are hurting on the inside, hurting emotionally, hurting spiritually, and they're looking for answers. We believe there's answers in spiritual truth. Things such as healing, purpose, meaning, love, forgiveness, unconditional love. And when you stop to think about some of the deepest issues that mankind is facing, it is because of what's going on with mankind. And those issues that go with mankind, that starts from within, manifest and become ramification in our society at the local level, national level, and the global level. So we want you just to consider that there is a spiritual realm, and we believe, as we're going to share in these videos, that all change starts with a spiritual perspective and starts from within. Why would you say that spiritual transformation is so important, and how has that impacted you?
It's so important because I believe it gives us hope, it gives us a greater peace, it gives us a sense of power, it gives us a different way to approach and look at life, look at circumstances, look at problems. And the secret sauce to healing and transformation is learning to dialogue and interact with your inner world as effectively as your outer world, making the invisible visible. What does that mean? When you go through problems, when you go through circumstances, when you go through life, you want to go within and try and figure out what is going on within your subconscious mind, where we believe the spirit lies. Transformation lies from within. Yes, we can transform physically, and sometimes that does affect us mentally, but spiritual transformation lies within the subconscious mind. And when we get familiar with the dialogue of what's going on in our mind, which I believe is very important to do when living by the Spirit, when believing that there is a Spirit, then you become empowered to be able to see what's going on, and it's not necessarily a problem. It's just a way that God is wanting you to grow, a way that God is wanting you to transform. But when I go within my subconscious mind, I think about, okay, why am I reacting like this? Why am I so bothered? What's going on with my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts? When I look there, which I believe that's where the Spirit lies, then there is room for transformation. Then there is an opportunity for transformation. But if we just believe this is flesh, then I think a lot of times we are going to tear each other apart. We are going to fight and fight and fight and fight. We're going to try and find these physical things to change either our spouse, our partner, or ourselves, when that is not really the issue. The issue is what's going on with my spirit.
You know, Jesus said that a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Just like Jesus was alluding to this very simple yet profound teaching, is that what goes on the inside comes out on the outside. And yes, you can do your best to try and suppress it. You can try to do your best to not deal with it. My natural tendency in this realm is to not really go deep and really feel like, what am I feeling? What's going on in my spirit? So if you want to change and if you want to transform, you have to deal with what's on the inside. And that takes sometimes a little bit of time. It may take some self-reflection, some examination. And we want to give you guys some tools on how you can change and have this spiritual transformation. We are both Christians and we believe in the Bible, and we believe that the Bible have lots of helpful principles that are talking about spiritual transformation. And I want to read one scripture to you, and this is from 2 Corinthians chapter 3. It says this: "But when everyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. Now the Lord is the Spirit. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit." And going back to what's going on the inside, what are you contemplating? The things that you think about a lot, the things that you hear a lot, and the things that you see a lot, and just like Aaron mentioned, things that you even grew up with, that's going to affect your internal being. It's going to affect your spirituality. It's going to affect you as a whole person. It says here that we should contemplate the Lord's glory, and that with ever-increasing transformation. And to me, that gives so much hope. And the hope that I want to give you guys as well is that you can change, because you were designed to change. And we'll talk more about that as well. But it all starts with being a little bit self-reflecting on this spiritual being that we are. And once you start getting in touch with that and get clear in your conscious awareness of the things that aren't necessarily the healthiest, you can use some of the tools and tips that we want to give you guys to change and join the spiritual transformation journey.